What's up, everybody? Modern Guru here, coming to you again. Sorry I haven't posted a video. I've worked quite a few days in a row now without a day off, and I will be posting some more videos over this weekend because I have 4 days off. I was supposed to I took these days off to go to Acapulco down in Mexico, but I wasn't able to go due to some circumstances that were unforeseen last month. So, yeah, I'm doing a video today. We're going to discuss the school shooting down in Florida. This is a difficult subject in a lot of ways. After I got off work today, I came home and was kind of just putzing around on Facebook, bored, and reading some of the many opinions of my fellow of the people that are in my circle on there, in the friends. So, and in some of the chat groups that I belong to on there as well. And I just wanted to talk about it because it's really infuriating sometimes to keep having to just keep going over this over and over and over and over again. It's monotonous bullshit from both sides, but overall, people don't see the big picture, and that is a real severe issue in our society. What do I mean by that? Well, they only get their narratives from their certain elements that, well, they get certain propaganda and certain opinions that are fed to them by their favorite sources, which fit their narrative, and then they just diarrhea of the mouth, or the fingers, if you will, typing all over social media. And even here on YouTube, I've seen a couple of YouTubers that have posted about this that just don't see the big picture. And what do I mean by the big picture? Okay, so in life, you have all of these things, all of these different factors that pop up, and they make up what is the eventual equation of what we're dealing with in reality, right? I think everyone can agree with that. The problem with most people is that they don't see all these factors that go into equations. They only get information from certain sources, and then they just repeat the whatever they hear or they read that fits their belief systems. And they don't look outside the box to try to really analyze why these things continue to keep happening. So one side's response is, well, this is my constitutional right. I own guns for the safety of myself and my family. I own all kinds of different guns, whether they be handguns, hunting rifles, shotguns, semi-automatic rifles, so on down the line. The other side believes that no one should own certain types of guns, or no one should own guns at all. Only government should have weapons. Okay, so let's get into this. First of all, I saw a lot of this today. No one should own assault rifles. They're semi-automatic rifles, people. They're just like a hunting rifle, except there's more rounds, okay? I can do just as much damage as this kid did with handguns. I own a lot of guns. If I didn't own an assault rifle and I wanted to commit a heinous crime like this, and it is heinous and disgusting and vile, something I would never ever do. I would only ever use my weapons in defense of my own private property, or my own life, my family's life, my friend's life, if they were in danger. But if I was going to do something this heinous and vile, I would be able to do it with any of my weapons, not just the semi-automatic rifles that I own. So that is just retarded and stupid. But when you're talking about all of this, like, people don't understand that the different dynamics, like I was talking about earlier, the equation, all the factors that go into the equation. Like, we have a school system that is modeled after the late 1890s after what was created by the Kaiser in Germany. It's militaristic in nature. It doesn't question, like, the original school was the Greek Academy, right? Question everything. Men get together in a public forum, discuss all current events, discussion, debate, versus what we have now in the school system, which is you have a leader in the room who has a regimented curriculum dictated by the state, and you are to give these kids this regiment. These kids are to memorize this and pass some standardized test. So in World War II, when you had all the goose-stepping Nazis running around, and then in World War I, the Kaiser's troops, you had, those are what the school systems produce, okay? They produce people like that. They produce really good workers, people that don't question things, people that don't have a higher understanding of how systems work, societies work, cultures work. They don't have a general overall innate ability to decipher complex scenarios and situations that further and expand upon their intellectual capacities and ability to assimilate information. As that's a tongue twister there. But they don't have that ability. Or they have a very retarded ability to do so based off the school systems that they went through. Now, yes, some people rise above it, and they can go through these systems and not be worse from it. But that's the minority. And there's plenty of testing that's been done and analysis over the years of the sources are all out there for you to go look up and either agree or disagree with my assertions here. But when you have these school systems, okay, you have these kids that grow up and they become part of the state. They're indoctrinated into the state. They become little statists. And so when someone tells me that, you know, I'm a dirty motherfucker or a bad person because I believe in guns and I believe in personal responsibility for my actions, things our society has a very serious problem with today. Everyone's actions can be excused or justified by race, sex, color, creed, all that bullshit, okay? Either you are a moral person or you are an immoral person based on your code. And there are different people's opinions on morals. But there was a moral basis in this country for a long time that has been completely flipped on its head since the 60s. And all these communists have gotten more power in this country. And, you know, I look at everything, and some of the things were good that happened that came from the 60s. Some of the things were really bad, in my opinion. I just look at everything and I see what type of fruit fell from the tree. From all these movements or zeitgeist that transpired, like, I judge it by its fruit in different scenarios. And although there's been wonderful things that have occurred from these events, there are some terrible things. There's some poisonous fruit. And we are seeing a lot of the results and of the poisonous fruit that's taken a hold in our society. Let's use one example. Like, I am not homophobic whatsoever. Whatever a person wants to do in their own bedroom, it's fine by me. It's none of my business, okay? I don't judge the person, okay? I judge their actions. I don't think homosexuality is natural. I don't think that it is a good thing for our society because it doesn't produce children then. And it destroys I think it destroys the whole central core of the family. And our central family structure has been decimated. It's been decimated. You know, parents divorcing, single parents, families, across the board. Everything is up. And this has many, many terrible consequences for our society. And it causes more and more people to rely on government in order to survive. And people have become if you went to the last quarter of the century and you asked the majority of people's opinions of government, it would be quite different than what their opinions of government are today. Government is absolutely massive in nature now compared to what it once was. And the only way it can grow is to convince its people that this is good for them, that it's growing. What is government? Government is the most vile and murderous institution in history. They believe in the use of violence at almost every turn and every stretch of the imagination. Taxation, capital punishment, wrongful imprisonment. We could go right on down the list. Shunning journalists, silence in the media, which nowadays the media is owned by 6 corporations anyways, the vast majority of it, so who the fuck cares? It doesn't even matter. They're right in there in cahoots with the government in every step of the way. But all of these things factor in. Then you've got, I run a restaurant. I see this all the time. I watch it every day. You got families that come in to eat and they don't even talk to each other. The kids are on their phones playing games or looking at Snapchat or playing on social media, whatever it may be. The parents don't even talk. They look like they're fucking miserable. Like, going out to dinner used to be a fun experience. Like, it used to be a family experience. Like, it was good for so many different reasons. And now it's like they're all just a bunch of zombies sitting around the table, all doing their own thing, all enveloped in their own little worlds. And these kids that these schools are producing with shitty home lives, barely see their parents, are being raised by social media and video games. They're so isolated from love and a centrally strong unit. Like, their whole reality has been warped, and they're acting out in the only ways that when they're unhappy and they have these negative feelings and viewpoints on society and the world, they're acting out in ways like you saw again yesterday. And a lot of this is fed to them by the people that control all these avenues by which they're becoming isolated from their families, from the structures, from the cultures, from the traditions of Western culture in the United States of America. So what I have a problem with is people just isolate it and break it down to just guns. Okay. If you are a statist and you believe in the welfare system, which is stealing from other people through brute force or the threat of brute force, if you believe in brute force to silence individuals' rights to free speech based on your sexual preference or your 87th gender, whatever. I don't even know the list of them these days. They've got so many different genders now, it's unbelievable. But if you're into silencing free speech, if you're into silencing people who are assembled that disagree with you, you are everything that this kid was that shot that school up yesterday. And I fucking really mean that. You are a fucking hypocrite of the highest order because you're a statist. You believe in government. You believe in brute force. You believe in harming other individuals using the government. So you are just like this kid. All of you are. You're hypocrites. Until you become a better person, more enlightened, and can see that violence is never the answer. Only in self-defense of life or property. Violence is never the answer. That means the total or almost complete elimination of centralized government, who exists based off the use of force in every fucking institution and wing of it. You're a hypocrite. And I don't want to listen to it anymore. I'm cutting ties with people. I'm getting rid of certain people on Facebook that have the diarrhea of the mouth and the intellectual capability of a horned frog. It's the only thing I could think of right there. Sorry. Not a good example. But I can't do it anymore. I can't listen to this bullshit. I'm trying to change the world. I want to change it to make it a better place. And until people start realizing what a fucking immoral, violent, brutal institution that government is, nothing is ever going to change. And we're only going to get worse and worse and worse. It is the Titanic sailing towards that iceberg. Government. That's it. I don't want to talk about this anymore. That's the video for tonight. If you have questions or comments, leave them down below. I'd love to mix it up with you. If you like or my content, this video, previous videos, please click subscribe and poke the like button. And that's really all I got for tonight, people. I just hope that you can watch this video, and I hope what you gain from watching this video is the ability to sit back, stop with the left and right paradigm, stop running your mouth, the diarrhea of the mouth from both narrative sides, and just look at everything as a whole. Are you a fucking hypocrite? What are you doing to stop the violence? What solutions are you coming up with? Because taking guns away is just going to cause a civil war. It's going to cause more death, far more death than occurred yesterday or has occurred over the last 10 years with school shootings. The last civil war we had, we lost 650,000 people. And you best believe that in this country, we're not fucking Australia, we're not the United Kingdom, we're not Canada. You know, this country has a rich tradition of anti-government sentiment for very good reason. Very good reason. Just look at the history of governments, people. It's not a good track record in any stretch of the imagination. And if you try to take our guns, we will fight back. I promise you, I'm one of them. I would be. If they ever tried to infringe on the Second Amendment. That's it. We're going to dance. And not that I would love to do it. I'm not looking forward to that. That would be a horrific thing. Horrific. If that happened. But what are the solutions to raising our children right? To actually start building families again. To keeping two parents in the household. To getting rid of the funky banking system that has been robbing, taxing, and thieving from you, which is the right arm of government for over 100 years now. What are your solutions to all the factors that go into the equation? Not just the one here that you're going to talk about for this week, and then you'll forget about. And then you'll talk about this one over here. This stupid bullshit debate that becomes popular for that week. And then you move on to the next one, and everyone forgets about the last one. What are you doing for all of it? Are you a hypocrite? Are you a statist? Do you believe in force? Do you believe in violence? If you do, so be it. At least you're honest. But if you're out there preaching how the children, the children, the children, your fucking government has been the biggest destroyer of children in this country and all over this fucking planet for 200 years now. Governments around the world for 5,000 years have been the biggest murderers of children. Collateral damage or casualties of war, whatever you want to call it. They've been butchering people for 5,000 years. They've been stealing, robbing, raping, pillaging, lying to you to get you to sign on to these fucking whims of the people at the top who benefit from all this chaos, commotion. Do something about it. Look at the big picture. Or just shut the fuck up.